Hey guys, welcome back to another exclusive podcast from IronFX. At IronFX, we are dedicated to bringing you the absolute best trading education to help you take your trading to the next level. In today's podcast, we'll be talking about fundamental versus technical analysis, which is better? This is a common question that most traders have, when they begin trading, right? They always wonder, should I be a fundamental analyst or should I be a technical analyst, right? Just for the sake of explanations, right? Fundamental analysis requires us looking at the news, right? So some people swear by it. Some people say that, technical analysis, which is looking at charts, doesn't work. I'm just going to look at the news because that is the true source of the market, right? So you look at news like, usually at the economic calendar, right? So the Forex economic calendar, right? It will start like, there's a news announcement today on the interest rate of a bank, right? There's the unemployment numbers which are being announced today. So they trade largely based on those fundamental analysis, right? The fundamentals, the health of a country, right? So fundamental analysis usually revolves around looking at more news items. Technical analysis are those who love to look at charts, right? So you look at they draw trend lines, they draw lines, they draw moving averages, they use indicators, right? So that is basically technical analysis, right? So there are usually two camps, right? There are people in the fundamental analysis camp and there's the people in the technical analysis camp, right? Now, the interesting thing here is that I think unpopular opinion rather is that you don't need to use both at the same time. Some people say, use both to get the best of both worlds. But the truth is, if you are looking, for example, if you're a technical analyst and you are looking at the 1 minute chart, maybe the 5 minute chart, you're trading, the fluctuations on the market in and out fast, right? You probably wouldn't care too much what is the long-term 10-year view on where the US dollar is heading. It's not going to affect you that much. That fundamental research is not going to affect you that much. But what you're probably a little bit more concerned about is when is the next big news announcement. So this is what I call different forms of fundamental analysis. There's a big news announcement coming in about half an hour, but you do not know how it's going to affect the markets, right? So if you're a short-term trader, right, you would use fundamental analysis, but more for the purpose of knowing when to avoid trading, right? So if I'm trading, I keep like really tight targets and I notice a super big volatile news announcement is coming up, I'll probably stay out of the market and say, you know what, there's too much craziness is going to happen in this short period of time, right? When the news announcement happens, usually when it's a non-farm payroll or unemployment report, I'm just going to stay out of it, right? So the thing here is that, yes, if you're a short-term trader, if you're a super short-term trader, you're scalpers, you probably won't care too much about fundamental analysis. You use more technical analysis. However, if you are trading slightly longer term, anywhere from 1 day to a couple of days to weeks, you probably want to pay a little bit more attention to fundamental analysis in conjunction with technical analysis. This is where they can really complement each other, right? So it's important to keep an eye on the news and on not only on the news, but also on the technicals. So if the news, saying that, all right, the US, the inflation is going up, right? Inflation is going up, right? Maybe you need to increase the interest rates again, right? The US dollar might strengthen again. And you're like, okay, right? The US dollar might strengthen. Now what, from a fundamental point of view, it makes sense. Let me just check on the technicals. Wow, the technicals are saying that it is on a major support, it's on a major bullish trend, it is a good time to get in again, right? So you have the backing of both the fundamental analysis and the technical analysis to get in on the trade. So in this case, fundamental and technical analysis works out well. So you see, you don't need to use them together all the time, right? Usually short-term trading, you might focus less on the fundamental news, right? You probably want to keep an eye on when it is released, but you're not so concerned about the outcome, right? You're more concerned about the volatility, right? Rather, if you were a longer term trader, usually swing traders, maybe even day traders, but more towards swing traders and position traders, you do want to keep an eye on the fundamentals, know what is the bigger picture, right? Oh, wow, we got a presidential election coming up. This president is very pro electronic vehicles, right? So that from a fundamental perspective, that could mean 1 or 2 years of bullishness on stocks which are EVs, right? So then we might want to apply a little bit of technicals on Tesla, a little bit of technicals on some of the competitors in the EV space, and see if there are buying opportunities, because fundamentally it makes sense. Technically, if it is on good support, is bullish, we can get it on the position too, right? So you can see how fundamentals and technicals, they both bring its benefits. It's not wrong if you don't want to use one of them. Just that my rule of thumb is that if you're a short-term trader, right, you probably don't need fundamentals that much. But if you're a long-term trader, you would benefit a little bit more from it, especially when you combine it with technicals. Okay, guys. Anyway, that's it from me for today's podcast on whether you should be using fundamentals versus technical analysis. Right? Do remember to subscribe to our podcast. As here at IronFX, we're dedicated to bring you the very best trading education to take your trading to the next level. Until then, stay safe, trade safe, and peace out, guys.